Welcome to They Mostly Pot Art at Night. Mostly, I am Salem, joined by my co-host Drew.
Hello.
This is episode 156. That's 156 of our weekly All Things Horror podcast. Our adventure into the maw of Friday the 13th franchise continues. We've started with the fun and confusing taglines that will only continue to be more fun and more confusing as we move along the timeline. So we start at the end, and then we have two separate new beginnings in these franchises. So yeah, part 4 is the final chapter. Part 5 is a new beginning, and then part 6 is Jason Lives.
Yeah,
which
and
is
part 6 is where they start off with the subtitle or tagline "Burst." Very small print, Friday the 13th.
But yeah, so good old Friday the 13th part 4. Now, I feel bad because Savini came back for this one.
Mm-hmm.
He came back because he wanted to kill off the character. He just was tired of it and he wanted it to go away. So he was like, yeah, I'll come back and push it out with a bang. And then, of course, they brought it back like the next year. Like it took less than a year for them to go, no, sorry.
Yep.
Whatever. So he did it. So, essentially, so the final chapter is, of course, we have our intro montage that explains everything that happened in the first 3 films. Then we're introduced to, well, we have a hospital scene first, right? It's basically the same hospital scene as Halloween 2.
Mm-hmm.
So where Jason wakes up in the hospital and kills the doctor and some nurses. But then he disappears.
Yeah, and then I'd say the story splits into 2 different stories.
Right.
At that point.
Yeah, and then he disappears, and then he does not reappear for like it feels like another hour. I don't think it's that long, but it's a long time. And so then we have 2 different storylines at that point. One of them is mom and daughter and son. Daughter is older, like late teens, and the son is younger, like 12, played by Corey Feldman.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the what's his name, Tommy Jarvis.
Yes, this is the Tommy Jarvis trilogy. Is
right. So this is this is the first appearance of Tommy Jarvis as a 12-year-old child. So he's like really into like horror stuff. So he makes his own like horror masks.
Pretty well, I might add. For
the masks look great. Yes.
For that chemical process he's doing in his.
We'll talk about what happens later. But so that's like one side of this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one side of the story. The second side of the story is there's a whole group of kids. I'm not even going to bother. I don't even know how many there were.
Only one of note, and that's Crispin Glover.
Right, correct. So they all go to this like house that's like, I guess, like across the street, even though they're like in the middle of the woods. That the party house is right across the street from where this family.
Right. So the family has a permanent lake house, and the other place is renting out a lake house on this biggest lake I've ever seen.
Right. Yeah, like right next door. We get basically like 45 minutes of kids trying to bone, right?
Yeah.
And usually succeeding. They're having parties. They're watching like old school like stag films. Couples are just leaving and going to bone in other rooms and stuff. And it's nothing else is really happening. Okay. There's just couples are getting together and boning, and we're supposed to like be excited for like, oh, look, the virgin girl is getting boned. Oh, look, the guy who was like upset that he didn't have a girlfriend. Oh, he's boning now too. Like,
well, because he's a dead fuck. They say that at least 15 times.
Yeah. It's just like, it's so fucking stupid. And like I said, I think the only good part is they have this like bizarre dance scene with Crispin Glover like doing this like, I don't know, it looks like he's having a fucking seizure. Like he's just like gyrating like a strobe light.
Yeah, if you ever watch behind the scenes, is that the song that they played was different than what they put in the movie. So if he had the original song, he says, now he's crazy, his dance makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think so. That's not how humans.
Well, no one else was dancing that way to the same song that he was
right. Like she was just like, doing the side to side step. Like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only good part of this. And then of course, Jason shows up and starts killing people one by one.
Hmm.
The kills are okay. There's nothing that exciting that's happening. Like, the one girl like gets upset that she's not boning, so she goes out to like a raft in the river. Jason kills her from the water, which I don't know. These movies are all over the place with like what his weaknesses are and shit.
And how deep that lake is, because he's
Right.
able to
Because
propel himself out of that water
right.
pretty well.
Right. But it's like his water is supposed to be his fucking weakness, but like he can wear his full like boots and suit and mask with weapons and be
Mhm.
fine in the deep end. Whatever. I know we're at the point of the franchise where nothing matters anymore. It's just they're just trying to like sensationalize everything. So anyway, she gets killed. Guy comes out to look for her, like, "Hey, I thought we were gonna bone," and then he gets like speared in the nuts or something. I don't like. It's goofy looking.
Mhm.
And anyway, yeah, the kids just kind of get killed off one by one. So the older daughter is about the same age as the party kids. So she like goes over to like hang out at the party and then finds like dead people. And then the mom kind of gets killed off screen.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Do we ever see her body?
No, no.
Okay.
Yeah, essentially that I know with this movie, that is most people's biggest complaint is like her death was off screen. And realistically, the other twin's death was off screen. We just see the shadow and then her body just like impaled onto the house. And that's about it.
Right. I mean, at least in this one, we actually like see like stabs and blood.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh, I think Christopher Glover's was good with the corkscrew to the hand and
right.
the
Yeah.
machete to the face.
Right. Yeah. Like, yeah. Savini, he's not doing his best work, but at least he's trying to make it fun.
Hmm.
Um, the other two in this series, not so much. But
No.
this one, yeah. So mom dies off screen after a weird scene of like her wandering around the house when the power's out. It's like it feels like it's a way longer scene, and then it just ends. And I guess we're supposed to understand that she died at that point, but like
Hmm.
they never show her dead, whatever. So the girl goes over to the house to like go party and then sees all the dead people, and then she freaks out and runs back home, and of course Jason follows them home. And then they kind of go like back and forth a bit to where like the Tommy Jarvis and the older daughter barricade themselves in Tommy Jarvis's room, and then they like rush out and get past them, and she runs to the house across the way. Well, the bodies are
Yeah, she goes between both houses up each
right.
time.
Yeah, so she goes to that house. Jason follows her, chases her all around that house, and then she comes back because she realizes that Tommy didn't come with her. So she goes back, and then she's like fighting Jason the whole time. And
Mhm.
I don't know, this is the dumbest part of the movie, I think. Spoiler is that um, there was a news article describing what Jason looked like when he was a kid.
Which looks nothing like he did.
Right. So it's like a pencil drawing of like how he looked as a kid. Tommy Jarvis somehow magically cuts his own hair to exactly match what Jason does. I mean, full makeup and everything. And like,
Mhm.
I don't know, 2 minutes,
Oh,
maybe.
yeah, yeah, he starts cutting his hair with scissors really fast and then starts shaving his head with still a lot of hair, and, that doesn't work very well,
No,
and
no.
doesn't get any cuts on him, which is
Right.
spectacular for his first time shaving ever.
Yeah. And then he comes downstairs, not even looking like the pencil drawing.
Mhm.
And he goes like, Jason, look at me. I look like you as a child. Like, how would Jason know what he looked like as a child?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like the shack that he lived in didn't have any mirrors.
Yeah.
I don't know. The fucking canon for this series is all over the fucking place. But like, it's not like he ever had like I get like she dressed up as the mom, right? She put the sweater on. I get that, right? He's supposed to like go, oh, the sweater's on, and kind of looks similar. Like, my crazy hillfolk brain understands this. Like, why would you think it's yourself as a child? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, and then he proceeds then to end Jason.
Right. Yeah. And then like, yeah. So Jason gets distracted. The older sister like hits him from behind. He's still going, and then Tommy Jarvis grabs his machete and then chops him in the head. a lot, screaming, die, 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 die. And then the daughter's just screaming, Tommy, no, Tommy, no. And then it's,
Well, he looks at us in the camera like he's going to become the next Jace.
well, yeah, he hugs his sister and then he goes,
Yeah. Yep.
in the hospital later on. But that's it. So
Because we have to have
Yeah.
the obligatory dream sequence at the end of each movie.
it wasn't a dream sequence, it was just them in the aftermath.
Well, she wakes up in the hospital and thinks he's there, and then she wakes up again in the hospital and Tommy's there. So.
Whatever.
Now, have you seen this before?
I'm pretty sure I've seen this one before because I remembered the Crispin Glover dance. So either I saw this before or I saw that particular scene before, but I'm pretty sure I've seen this one before. I'm pretty sure I stopped watching after this one.
Oh, because it's the final one.
Yeah, but well, like at this point, it was like I don't know. It just the quality of the canon was out the fucking window, and I just stopped giving a shit. Because yeah, when I watched the fifth one, like, yeah, I don't remember that. I didn't remember the fifth one at all. So I'm pretty sure I stopped at this one.
Yeah, and as we said on last episode, but the poster for this is the iconic thing that most people think of, that hockey mask with the knife through the eye. So it's the pixel art for the Friday the 13th video game. And I'm sure people believe in 1984 it would be the last one. But for anyone that's watching the franchise after the fact knows that it's not.
It's funny. I was reading articles about it, and they're talking like, "Oh yeah, they had Slasher Burnout." I'm like, Slasher Burnout 1984? Like, I don't think so. Like, Slasher Burnout was until like the mid to late 80s.
Well, considering 84 was Nightmare on Elm Street, which kind of it was huge.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, no, that's not right. The Slasher, I mean, maybe this franchise. Yes, this franchise was wearing out its welcome. That's correct. But I don't think slashers in general were. Like, there's still a lot more to go in the 80s.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They had 4 in 4 years, so I'm sure people were tired of Jason at that point.
Right. Yeah, that I understand. I'm just saying, like, yeah, wearing out their welcome with this franchise, but not slashers in general, especially not then. That didn't happen until the 90s.
Correct. Yeah. But yeah, I said this movie sticks in my head a lot because of Crispin Glover's dance. It's a weird ending, and we'll get into how this recaps in the 2009 one at some point, in a couple of weeks actually. Yeah. Do you want to start with your highlights, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first. That's fine.
Okay.
So yeah, Savini came back to kill Jason off, which they went back on their word anyway, so that's funny. We get Crispin Glover and Corey Feldman, so like it's an 80s movie.
Double crazy.
Yeah. And of course Crispin Glover's funny dance. Gordon, the dog, was great, and he knew when it was his time to leave, and he just left.
Yep.
And he never came back.
Right. And that was the mom's line.
Fuck this.
And that's the mom's lines. The rest, half of her screen time she had before she died.
Right, yeah. He just jumped out the window and he's like, fuck off. See you later.
Oh, yeah. It's hilarious the way he jumped out, too. Just like, nope.
Yeah. And that's it. Just cut. He's out of the film. Never comes back. And I think this one is the first movie where we start to see like Jason is a supernatural entity, right?
Yeah.
Like it kind of was before this point, but we didn't have any direct proof. Like this one, he was fucking dead. Like he was pronounced dead at the morgue, and then he came back. So that's like, because the other ones, like, yeah, he came back, but there wasn't like a morgue that pronounced him dead. So we don't know if he really was. Maybe he just, got that hill folk strength that he just kept going. But this one is, I think, the first one where we have like real supernatural elements. That's all I got.
Yeah. As for, I'm keeping track of the timeline now. Some people may dispute my timeline here. This is still 1985 because this is literally like the next day from number 3, right?
I mean, it could be, sure.
Yeah. But because a lot of people are arguing that the first one's 1979, but they said it was June 13th. There was no June 13th in 1979. There's June 13th in 1980.
Well, there was a June 13th. There just wasn't a Friday.
Although, well, yeah, June 13th in 79 was Wednesday. June 13th, that was a Friday. There's only one Friday the 13th in 1980, and that was in June. But
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. Sure.
So I said this. This is why I say 1985. Of course, this is the last one, the final Friday. I think they should almost retroactively.
No, Final Friday is a different one. This is the final chapter.
Oh, that's right. Yes. As you said, Tom Savini, Crispin Glover dance. He is as unhinged as he possibly could be in this movie, and he kind of steals it. He's the only one that's kind of memorable of the teens.
Yeah, the rest of them are just playing horn dogs, and that's it.
Yeah. And it would have been interesting if they, continued the time we set up as maybe going crazy and taking that persona on too far, which we get into a little bit into the next one. But it was, at that point in time, you're like, oh, maybe it is possessed and stuff like that.
Well, it's just weird that they spent all this time introducing Tommy, the sister, and the mom, right? Mm-hmm. We have like an extended, I don't know, like a 10-minute scene, like introducing them. And then they're gone for like 45 minutes while we watch the kids party and bone and then get murdered off. And then they come back in after all the murders have happened. So like we get an intro and then they leave.
Oh, they're gone for an entire act.
Right. Yeah. So it's a bizarre setup. And it's just weird how we're like this mini trilogy in the middle here is supposed to be about Tommy Jarvis, but we really don't get a whole lot with him.
Yeah, I agree. But that's all I have. I'll roll into my low points. Corey Feldman's the one that kills him. I don't particularly like. I would say that these people have clearly never done shotgun beer before, because you just don't stab it and hold it above your head and try to drink it as it sprays down. That's not how you shotgun a beer.
I mean, you can if you're doing it for effect and not to actually drink the beer.
That's very true. And I put okay, this is the fourth movie. If you're going to a lake house, I understand they're horny teenagers. No one brings a swimsuit to this lake ever.
Well, they might have had a swimsuit, but they didn't plan on going swimming because they were walked. Like the twins told them it's a long walk. And we're like, oh, that's fine. We can do it. So like, we don't know how far away they were and if they were actually planning on going swimming.
Yeah. Who knows?
So yeah, if you say, hey, you want to go to 7-Eleven? And I go, okay. And then all of a sudden we end up at a pool. Yeah, of course I don't have my swimsuit. I thought we were going to 7-Eleven.
Right. That's fair. The banana girl.
Yeah. Pointless. I don't understand. Maybe somebody had a scene in their head where like, we need to kill somebody when they're squeezing a banana.
Well, this movie showcases that they just really introduce people for 5 seconds to kill them off. That's the entire purpose going forward.
They give you enough time to where you kind of sort of give a shit that they died, and then that's it.
Yeah, but I also put that now she's going to horror cons as Banana Girl.
Well, there are people with less screen time than that are still going.
That's sudden fog is sudden in this movie. Sometimes it's really foggy. Sometimes just the fog machine worked for a couple of seconds and it just passes quickly. It's just not continuity with the fog on this lake is amazing. And I literally put everyone's laughs in this movie. Crispin Glover's laugh is unhinged and disturbing. The stoner laughing at the Stag movie the entire time was annoying as hell.
Have you ever been in a party where like some awkward dude puts on porn
and just laughs at it nonstop?
Yeah, there's like one weird guy who's like super into porn, like, oh, this is great, isn't it? And then everybody like leaves the fucking room, and they don't understand why. Well, this is porn, man. Don't you want to watch porn? Like, no, not with a bunch of people. Get the hell out of here. So, like, yeah, there's always the weird dude that does it, and that weird dude does not surprise me that he was laughing.
Yeah. And then Crispin Glover felt like he was eating her face.
Yeah, there was bizarre teenage tongue.
It wasn't even tongue. It was like his mouth was like over her mouth. Completely.
Well, that's how teenage tonguing works. You don't know how to kiss yet, so you're like trying to eat each other's face.
Yeah, that's what it really felt like. He was eating her face, and that poor girl. That's what I have. What are your low points?
Another intro montage. I can't stand those. You're just like eating up runtime with clip show from the other ones. At least this one wasn't quite as bad, where it didn't just show like 10 minutes of the last movie. It actually gave you like a super cut of like what was relevant.
Right.
But it still did it. Um, I don't. Why do morgue guys always have a fucking sandwich?
Okay, so I almost wrote that down. It's very true, but I think it's because I think the idea is to convey that this is just a mundane job to them, so it doesn't bother them.
I get it, but like every movie that has a fucking morgue guy, they have a fucking sandwich in their hand,
Mhm.
and they're like eating while they're doing a thing. Like, I don't think that's what morgue guys do. Like, they go somewhere to eat their lunch. Like, I don't think anybody wants to eat their lunch near like an open dead body.
Well, it almost looked like egg salad sandwich too, not just like a
Right.
normal deli sandwich.
Yeah, and he like put it down on the body. Like, dude, what the fuck? I don't know. Every movie with the morgue guy's always like this sloppy fucking dude that's eating while he's doing everything. It's just
Mhm.
bizarre. I don't know where that comes from. And again, it's a long stretch that we don't have any Jason. It's like the first 10 minutes of the hospital stuff, and then he's gone for it feels like an hour.
It's pretty close. When it ramps up, it escalates quickly.
Yeah, he kills all those kids in like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it's like a long time of like you just like watching these kids like, I want a bone. Oh, I want a bone too. Like literally for an hour. Like, I don't need all this shit.
Mhm.
Um I was laughing hysterically because she goes, "We have to barricade the door." And she grabs a nail and she just pounds a nail into the door trim.
Right. It almost like the door is going through the door trim. It's like like a
Right. I'm
sliding
like,
door. Yeah.
yeah, there's wood next to the door, but that wood is not doing anything but being decorative. Putting a nail in it is not going to help anything. And then she just runs upstairs, like, and then he kicks open the door like it was barricaded. Like, just use the knob, dude. Um, there is a lot of jumping through windows in this.
1, 2,
They
3.
must have got like a deal on some cheap like breakable windows
Yeah.
or something, or like they found a truck that had a bunch of it because there's a lot of people. They keep doing it. Like he's killing people through the windows. People are jumping out of windows. The fucking dog jumped out through a window. Um, it's a lot. He like throws shit through the window. He chums in through the. I mean, there's a lot. There's a whole
Mhm.
bunch. And then of course Corey Feldman and his fucking hair and makeup in 60 seconds, which is just fucking stupid.
Mhm.
Um, and then okay, this is the final chapter, right? Like you're calling this the final chapter. That's supposed to be
The end.
like like a build up for it, right? Like the kind of like a culmination of the series,
Mhm.
right? And instead of like any characters coming back from the beginning to like, oh, finally put him down, it's just some 12-year-old kid who has like less than 10 minutes of screen time in this film that kills him. And there's like, I mean, obviously they keep him going later on, but like in this film, there's really nothing final about it. It's weird that they call it the final chapter. And I know they were trying to kill him off permanently in this, but like could have gave him like a bigger send off than that, or like some kind of like payoff for watching the first three movies. You know what I mean? Like there's no connection whatsoever.
That's very true. All right. So what are our olives this week?
We're just sticking with Barnyard Weapons because there's still plenty of Barnyard Weapons.
Oh, especially that number 5 makes up for it.
Yeah, yeah. So we got plenty of Barnyard Weapons. So you want me to go first? So I mean, I think we're still going down in quality here. I don't think this one is quite far off from the third one as far as like quality, but I think I liked it a little bit less. It's not saying much. But yeah, I'll do 3.25.
Yeah. I kind of like this one a little bit more than number 3. The number 3 got, a point or two taken off just because of the really bad 3 effects. So it's not the best thing ever, but I will go up to a 5.5 Barnyard Weapons out of 10. So it was an interesting closing chapter. If they had stuck with it, we'd probably be talking about Friday the 13th very differently in 2025 here. But as we know, just continues.
Right. Okay, so now we're moving on to no, not even a year later. We get Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Yes. And this is 5 years later. So canonically, it's 1990 in this universe.
It's only 5 years. Oh, okay, I guess yeah.
He's
Well,
still yeah.
teenagers in the 80s were always played by adults.
Well, yes, he's already like 26 in this role.
I was gonna say like he looks like it's like at least been 10 years.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree. But yeah, it's only 5 years later. So he's 17 because he's still a ward of the state. I think you have to be ward of the state until you're 18. So, so we get Tommy Jarvis, and he's essentially at a rehabilitation / halfway house / drama student's wet dream of caricatures for the crazy house. That's all I'm calling this one.
This is the 80s crazy house, man.
There's
always these. You know what? I was very shocked. I don't go into this later. I'll say it right now.
Mm-hmm.
There was not a woman holding a fake baby.
That's very true.
There's always, every time there's a fucking institution, all the time, there's a woman holding a fucking fake baby. Every damn time that thinks it's a real baby. This time we didn't get that. I was shocked.
Well, they're only teenagers, so maybe that's why.
Well, I guess so.
Yeah,
maybe that's
every
why.
other caricature is still there.
Correct.
Yeah, so essentially, I'm gonna call it what it now. It's a whodunit Friday the 13th. It's a murder mystery. It is. But we're introduced to the characters there. You know, there's a couple that wants to just bone on someone's farm with a, if this is like Pennsylvania or Ohio or that area, the very southern accents for the northern part of the country.
Well, these people might have been shipped in from anywhere.
I guess they felt like shipped in from a different time period.
Well, it's not the 1990s in this timeline. Come on, man.
I know. But yeah, Tommy Jarvis is kind of just going insane. He's still traumatized by his past. We have, a chunky guy that likes chocolates is just not good. And then he just talks briefly, granted annoyingly, to the psycho guy with the axe, who then proceeds to kill him and depart from the movie.
Which was, I will not lie to you, it was the best part of the movie. I was like genuinely shocked. I was like laughing out loud. That was great.
Oh, I see. Okay, so Joey is the most annoying character in this franchise to me.
Sure. I mean, we don't get a lot of them. Like Shelly, I think is worse because we get more of them.
If we had an entire movie of Joey, yeah, I'm just saying amount of time frame. If we gave Shelly and him the same amount of time, I think Joey's more annoying than Shelly.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But yeah, the guy kills him with an axe because he, annoys him, and he's out of the movie. Surviving the slaughter that is this movie because he killed someone else. Yeah, we have just I'll just say a whole bunch of random stuff that's happening. These kids are boning, start to get murdered. We think maybe it's this creepy guy that's going to be like a farmhand that's introduced to a hot meal, and he's watching them bone, and like, oh man, he's going to kill him, and no, he gets killed. And then we have
right, and then there's like the weird hill folk mom and son, who I have no fucking clue why they're in this film. That like, there's
Bodies.
no reason for them to be there.
Bodies.
But there's a lot of scenes with them. There's like, we have scenes with just those two characters talking about how great her fucking stew is and shit. Why?
She'll still cooking at like midnight.
Right. It's like, I know they're trying to pad out runtimes here, but like, we don't need stories for like C tier characters.
Yeah, and they are like, when we say C tier hillbillies, they even have their own hillbilly stupid ass music.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're like always dirty and shit. Yeah, it's like they're like stereotypical hillbillies.
Yeah, but he's there because he's trying to mess with Tommy. Tommy beats the shit out of him, and he's like going crazy, and he gets decapitated. And Tommy just disappears for a while,
right?
Presumably to be led to that he is the killer, and he actually went too far. We have this 45-year-old guy taking out this 20-something-year-old chick at this diner, and then immediately get killed. And then we have the halfway house, and the guy that runs it just kind of disappears. We have the old man that's like the caretaker / cook. He dies off screen. We have
he does. His body does get thrown through a window. At least we see him dead.
Yeah, and then we have, was it Reckless? Is that they call him Ricky? Reckless Ricky trying to meet his brother that's just there to have a body count, who's eating like a food court worth of ethnic foods. I got chow mein, I got quesadillas, I got burritos, I got like pizza.
Yeah, literally. literally, and he lived in a van.
Right.
So he had all of these things sitting out in a van. That's half of your van space is covered by food plates.
Yeah, and and he gets the shits. No wonder, right? His girl starts messing with him. His little brother comes to visit him. He just leaves, and he's just there to get introduced to, just to get killed and stabbed through with on the shitter, just to die. And then eventually, everyone else kind of just dies. We have Sterling Stanley that's trying to I want to make love to you to one of the girls. She's like, yeah, no. So he gets upset and immediately killed. We have the dancing girl who gets killed because it's 1990 and still living in the 80s with her
Maybe
music.
that's why she's crazy.
Maybe. All this stuff, and we see Jason finally come back, and he's come down Reckless Ricky and the other assistant, and they're in the barn for the last act of the movie.
Well, there's a whole angle of this that I think they really missed the point on. I think in the original script, I think it was more like you said, more of a whodunit type of thing.
Well, they set up many different people to try to be
right. But the kid, this is what after Tommy is all violent and then disappears and nobody sees him.
Right.
And then the kid goes in his room and all there's dead bodies are in his room. So instead of going oh shit, Tommy's the murderer, it immediately goes to Jason. And then Tommy just shows up later. No one is oh shit, he's a murderer. He has bodies in his room. Everybody just forgets about that.
Right. It's still setting up the idea that Tommy is crazy and doing all this stuff and is traumatized and it's continuing on for number 4, which would make sense.
Right.
But then Tommy shows up.
I get that. But they immediately dismiss it as soon as they bring it up.
Yeah. He gets slashed horribly across the chest, and then they throw Jason, who, by the way, is wearing a different color hockey mask with different colors. So, it's not the real Jason.
What? I just thought they had a different prop.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like these movies are known for their fucking continuity and shit. So again, if you're if you were smart, you would have seen it was a different color mask. Dude, these continuity people probably didn't even fucking know it was a different.
No, yeah, it's blue, and like I said, it just stands out because it's the only time it's a different color.
Well, it's blue and it doesn't have the notch in the top.
Right. But yeah, they eventually throw him off, and he gets impaled in spikes, and lo and behold, it was Roy, the EMT that was very distraught that his orphan son that he doesn't pay attention, doesn't know he exists, was very distraught seeing his son chopped up, so goes on a murderous rampage.
Right, and there's 0 clues.
Correct.
None.
Correct.
There's no clues that this is what's happening.
Correct. And yeah, he just wore a mask to look like Jason, try to do the mythos. And, Tommy's in the hospital repairing, and, well, he goes crazy and maybe is the new Jason again. And jumps out the window because, jumping through a window is the greatest thing, easiest thing to do in this universe is jumping through a window.
Well, he didn't jump through the window.
No, yeah, he acted like he was going to, but he's like, oh, look, here's this girl that I helped save, and I'm going to maybe stab her.
He threw a chair through the window and then hid behind the door.
But maybe, yeah, he's wearing the hockey mask, and maybe he's Jason, and spoiler, no.
Right. Well, again, all these movies, they end up somewhere, and then they never pick up what they're trying to lay down in the one before.
Yeah, so there was actually no Jason Voorhees in this movie. It was a copycat, and this movie got such negative scores and reviews that they're because they were planning on taking this whole new direction. They go, no, we're going to go back with part 6, Jason Lives.
Well, I mean, if you're going to have a new killer, have a new killer. Don't recycle the same one. And then again, okay, so you were following, because the at the end, when Jason shows up as whatever, a figment of his imagination later on, he has the correct mask. He has the mask with the little red arrow and the notch in the top. That's the right one. So the person who made this film knew the continuity, but I guess assumed that you would too. And you wouldn't just assume it was a movie with a shitty budget and nobody cared. Because that's what it looks like. It's the 5th part of a franchise that, is dying out at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just think you're asking too much.
Yeah. But this was your first time, you believe, right?
Yeah. Because I was huh, at the end. I was like, it's not Jason. That's interesting. So yeah, no, I never saw this one.
Yeah, it definitely stands out in the franchise as a whole because technically it's the second one without Jason Voorhees. Now we had a fill-in for Jason, but um,
Well, the first one technically does have him in it, but he's a child.
Yeah, the murderous rampage Jason.
Correct.
But yeah, it just it's a weird out of place thing that just really felt like they're like, yeah, we're out of ideas. Let's do this. Well, this did horribly. It's the season of the witch in this franchise, essentially. Right? It's a Halloween 3.
Well, I mean, at least they tried to keep with the motif.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree, but yeah, it's they tried something new, and the fans at that point in time go, yeah, no, we want Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, I mean, but you're on part 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, why are you trying to like mess with the recipe?
In 5 years.
Yeah. Right.
So, yeah, I'll do my highlights first. Like I said, it'd been interesting if it wasn't Jason and stayed not Jason. I would like to see where that franchise would have gone. Just like I'd like as much as I love Halloween, the anthology version of Halloween would have loved to see too. Like I said, it is a murder mystery. The most tacked on ending of a murder mystery. Like, remember Roy? No. Well, this is the son. I don't remember that.
Yeah. Okay, the guy that was in like one scene and didn't really say anything, and they got made fun of for being like shy or whatever, like that guy.
Yeah.
Who never showed up again.
Yeah, and he had a picture of his son as an adult, which he hadn't seen in years. So,
well, I mean, maybe it's being creepy and like sneaking up on him. He was an EMT.
Tommy set up again as a new Jason. Still not delivered, but it still would have been an interesting path with it. Yeah, that's all I can say for my highlights. How about you?
I was genuinely happy with the Vic Joey thing. Like I did not see that one coming. It was genuinely funny. Tommy in this film is fucking shredded, dude.
Yeah, he is.
He's like, he takes off his fucking shirt. He's got like, an 8-pack and everything. It's like, holy shit. And like when he fights people, he's like kicking the shit out of people.
Mm-hmm.
He's got like ninja skills. And then it was like, fucking, he's facing off with Jason. I'm like, oh, here it comes. And he just stands there and gets stabbed.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
I was like, how the fuck you pull out ninja moves in like 2 other fights in this film? And then when you actually get to the person you're like scared of, you just stand there and get stabbed. I mean, I guess fear does things to people.
Well, he also probably thought it was his imagination.
I guess. But he just falls down and doesn't do shit.
Yep.
It's bizarre. And I did like Violet's robot dance.
I know. I knew you would.
It was awesome.
I knew you would.
But that's it. that's all I got.
Why don't you roll on your low points then?
All right. So, every character in this film sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there is no likable characters in this movie. Like, they're all fucking assholes. Like, everybody has a scene where they're an asshole. The kills are lame in this movie. Like, there's a lot of like, we're watching the handle of something when it's supposed to be killing a person,
Mm-hmm.
Like, we get their screaming face, but we don't really see a lot of impalements. We get a couple, but it's mostly lame. The music is fucking atrocious. It's like super loud and like in your face at the wrong times, and then when like bad things are actually happening, it's like just like crickets. Nothing's happening.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I don't know who fucking mixed this film, but they need to get a better job. Okay. Second film in this franchise so far where we have 2 people taking a shit and they don't bother to wipe and just pull their fucking pants up.
It's not even just normal. It's diarrhea. Like, it's.
I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
One dude, like, literally was driving a car, stops it on the side of the road and goes, I gotta go take a shit. Like, you better have this car fixed by the time I go back. Like, what are you gonna do? Shit in the woods? Like, you didn't have toilet paper with them. Just like left and then came, like, what? So he died with shit pants. And then the other guy was the dude that was, eating enchiladas and pizza. Again, taking his shit. And when they start rattling it up, he just stands up, pulls his pants up. Like, dude, what is going on with you people? Like, why? Did they watch the earlier films of the trilogy where like, we need to preserve this for some reason?
Hey, in Friday the 13th, no one wipes their ass. Okay.
I guess not. That's like an alternate reality where they have the 3 seashells. And like the women in this film are like allergic to clothes.
Yeah.
I think the only woman that does not get naked in this movie is like the caretaker's wife.
Yep.
And the hillbilly mom.
Yep.
Other than that, every woman gets naked.
Yes.
Yeah, I think at the end, Pam, who's like that's the one lady who doesn't get naked, the caretaker's wife. She was a terrible scream queen. Like her screams were bad. Like,
I even feel like one of them was dubbed by someone else.
Right. I was like, this is terrible. Like her screams are terrible. And then fucking Reggie comes up and screams way better than she does.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, he should be the scream queen. I mean, it's like whatever, 8-year-old boy screams better than an adult woman, I guess. It's very bizarre. And again, I wrote this down before I looked at the end. Because at the end I was like, I guess that doesn't work. But yeah, I was like, his eyes are fixed. It's like he's looking out both eyes from the mask. Like before, it was always because you had the one, chunk eye, right? That was like, was drooping down his face, and so you could only see the one eye in his mask. But no, this one he had both eyes. I didn't notice the color of the mask, but I did notice that the notch in the top wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, is this just not continuity? And then I found out later that it was just an imposter, which canceled it out, but I figured I'd put it. And again, I will say the story overall is pretty fucking lame. Like it's not even Jason, and we get no clues. Like it's like the typical slasher mystery where like you get no fucking clues and you're supposed to try to figure out who the killer is. And then people are still like, I know who it was. No, you fucking didn't.
No one knew it the first time they watched this movie.
I'm just saying, there's only like one movie that I figured out the killer before the end, and that was, I think, Scream 2. And I knew it was Timothy Olyphant. I did not call the mom, obviously, because that you can't know that. But I did know that Timothy Olyphant was the killer, because like when they had the the one scene, he was the only person that wasn't there. And I called that. But again, generally I don't. I don't figure it out before we get to the end. And this one, obviously, I did not, because it's like impossible to know the one EMT guy is the dude. So yeah, that's all I got.
Yeah. Poor Corey Feldman, just come back to the very opening scene just to get aged up 5 years.
He gets like 2 minutes and then he's done.
Yeah, and I'm not sure I'm not sure Jason Voorhees would get a marked grave at all, honestly, or a proper burial.
I mean, yeah, it depends on who's paying for it, I guess.
Yeah, and then
but yeah, like Ed Gein, Ed Gein, like his grave, it doesn't have a headstone at all,
right?
Because they did give him a headstone, and then people were stealing it,
right?
Like defacing it and shit, so they just took it out.
Right. I think that's what happened in the real world or this world too, but not the case.
Me and a friend of mine took a road trip to Plainfield, Wisconsin to look at it. I actually have pictures of it.
Nice.
It's just an empty space because like you see his family around him and then it's just an empty space. They supposedly say he's not there anymore, but like, I don't know, he's there.
Yeah. And in case you didn't realize this is Tommy Jarvis from the fourth one, he has a mask that he stops that passion of immediately in this movie.
Yeah, I think it's the same mask he had.
It is.
Yeah, and then that's it. The no more masks.
Yeah. I put, Joey was an orphan, but his dad went crazy for some reason for not being involved with his life. He was watching over him. No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Discount Randy Quaid.
Yeah, I guess so.
And
this is a great stew.
I'm stupid. Yeah, that entire thing needed to go away. The diarrhea serenade.
Oh.
Ooh, baby. Ooh.
Yeah, like if I'm taking a shit, leave me the fuck alone. I don't want to talk to you.
Yeah. Is there even a lake in this movie? No, there's no Crystal Lake. At all.
I don't know. I think they mentioned that they're on a lake.
We never see the lake.
No, we don't know. Yeah, that's correct. We don't see it at all. But I think when they're talking about in the beginning, like when he's kind of giving his like background info, whatever. I think he
Hmm.
talks about how it's on a lake. I don't know if he says Crystal Lake or any of that. I just know that he says that they're on a lake or they have a lake nearby.
Yeah, yeah, but it's never set there, and it's
No,
not the town's not Crystal Lake anymore. It's Forest Green
correct.
because all the bad connotations. And okay, if Tommy Jarvis is a ward of the state, why does he have to be in the same town he had his family murdered? And like,
Yeah,
you don't think that's if he's unstable? Hey, you just stay in the town where all these bad things happen to you. No, go somewhere else. There's a whole other state, part of the state you can go to. But
well,
no,
it's a rural area. Maybe it's the only town in the whole rural area.
I guess, yeah. And like I said, this movie is just even adding up even more stuff. It's just like, hey, let's have these characters that you don't know, but let's have them do cocaine. That's your character motivation, and you're
All
dead.
right.
Yep.
This shows up. Hey, you want a bone? No. Yeah.
Yep.
What the fuck?
Yep. I looked up the guy's age, and like, yeah, he's like 40 something. Like,
He
how old
looked
is,
it. Yeah,
and
he
like,
looked
how
it.
old is this woman he's picking up? Like, if she's a teenager, like, oh,
Well,
she's not.
Yeah, as I said, she looked like she's like 30-ish.
Yeah, but I said they're just there to get killed. And I said the hillbilly subplot had nothing to do with anything. The farmhand had nothing to do with anything other than being a body there.
Yeah, he was just a hobo looking to do some work to get some food, and then that's it.
Clean all the shit from chicken coop. All right. Kids are bowing and I'm dead.
Right? Like, okay, if I'm gonna go clean some shit out of a chicken coop and I see two younger, attractive people boning in the woods, I mean, yeah, I'd poke a look, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like he was, yanking it or anything. He was just looking, and he turned away. He just looked for 30 seconds and then got stabbed.
Yep. And he's so all just up Roy, the dad.
Right.
That's all I have. I will go first for my barnyard weapons out of 10. Or is it your turn? Have you not gone yet?
What?
You went. Yeah, you went with your low
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, this movie is definitely a low point of the franchise for me. I will give this 4 barnyard weapons out of 10. How about you?
That's as low as you go.
You know what? You're correct. 3.25.
Yeah, I'm gonna go down to I'm gonna say 2.
2.
2 barnyard weapons.
Well, let's go through Jason Lives, Part 6. Well, only a year later again.
Well, yeah, because they were must have been in a panic. People are very upset.
Oh, they were very upset. And continuity-wise, we're now in 1991. It's a year later.
Yeah, 1 year.
Yep.
I mean, Tommy Jarvis looks like he's age 10 in that 1 year.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, essentially, so it picks up right kind of sort of where it left off is Tommy becomes 18 and he escapes from his mental institution.
Mm-hmm.
And his first order of business is he's going to go dig up Jason and make sure he's dead.
Yes.
Because I guess he thinks it's going to happen every year or something. He kind of alludes to he wakes up once a year or something. I don't know why he thinks that, but because all the other movies happen within days of each other.
And then he went 5 years without seeing Jason. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, so he gets to the graveyard, and of course there's the nice displayed head, stone with his name and everything on it. So him and his friend dig up Jason and find his decaying bug covered corpse and worms in his eyes. And so they go, okay, he's really dead. And so he picks up this, I don't know what the fuck it was, a piece of fence or something.
Wrought iron.
Yeah, it was just a big wrought iron, cold iron piece of something, and he stabs it into him. And goes, okay, I guess he's dead. And he goes to grab the gasoline. And as he's fumbling around with the gasoline, lightning strikes and I guess brings Jason back to life.
Yes, and spoiler for anyone who doesn't know, that becomes his way to come back in everything ever since.
Right. Oh yeah, I'm just saying this one is we had supernatural when he woke up in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but it didn't show anything magically happening to him. And this one is he's a rotting corpse with no eyes. And then he gets struck by lightning and now he has an eye.
Yes, it's regenerative lightning. I don't know if you knew
Right.
that, but wrought iron and lightning equals regenerative power.
Right. And so it's like he's kind of like Frankenstein, but he's also like healed. So it like reverses time in his body to when he was alive again. And this time, and he wakes up with a nice little pouch on his belt full of throwing knives,
Hey,
which
and gloves, and gloves.
right. Like, okay, so they buried him with a fucking machete and a little pouch full of throwing knives. Like, who the fuck buried this guy?
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so the one friend dies, Tommy manages to escape. The 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 graveyard, the gravedigger guy shows up. Oh man, looks like somebody dug this grave up. I guess I'll just fill it back in.
Not report it.
Yeah, not report anything, just fills it in, takes another drink. And then the next day, when Tommy tells the police and the police go to look, they see nothing because the grave has been filled in. And of course, grass has grown over and everything has, moved. So it's not a freshly disturbed grave as it should have been. It looks like a grave that's been, covered up for a year. So they're like, okay, you're crazy. We're going to go lock you up in the jail. So they lock him up in the jail. There's like weird chemistry that happens between him and the sheriff's daughter. So we're like, they immediately, like, I don't know, have a connection. And she's like, immediately believes everything that he says, even though he's like from an institution. And like, he's definitively like not right in the head. And she's all like, I love him anyway.
Hey, but you know what? All his murderous tendencies are completely gone.
Right. Yeah. But now he's just like in this jail and he's very upset. And of course, Jason is just, now that he's woken up, he's just killing people in all kinds of fun ways, looking for people boning, looking for kids doing stuff, and using his fancy new throwing knives and his fucking machete weapons and all that shit, and just murdering his way across the thing. Like the daughter finally like helps Tommy to like escape
Mhm.
from the jail, and then they're somehow going to stop him or do something.
Right. All this entire time, the sheriff is like, Tommy Jarvis is doing all these killings. And they're like, no.
Yeah, like he's in the jail. Like you locked him up because like I guess the first victims that they found were like supposedly killed before they picked him up.
Mhm.
So they're like, oh, he did those killings. And then there's like, yeah, multiple other murders that happened live while he's locked in jail. So yeah, the cops are like trying to figure that out, but still somehow blaming him.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, they become the cops in the Halloween franchise where they don't believe the like guy that's like he's back. Like, no, we changed our names. That's great.
Yeah, great. Like I know where you are.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, they after all the murder stuff happens, somehow Tommy Jarvis, figures out that his weakness is water.
Despite the fact that he's able to propel himself out of it.
Right. And
Yeah,
at this point, I was like, I remember of several scenes from the earlier films where he's like literally beaching up like a dolphin, like stabbing people in the fucking deep water. Like, I don't see how that's weak.
Oh, it happens here too. Tommy's on a boat that's deep enough that he can get drowned in, but he's still able to propel himself out of the water onto his boat
Right.
somehow.
Yeah. So he gets a rock with a chain around it.
Mhm.
And then he's like trying to like lure Jason onto this boat so he can put the chain around him so he can sink to the bottom of the lake, and that's somehow going to stop. And so as you do when you're out there and you can't get Jason to come in your boat, you dump gasoline all around your boat and set it on fire.
Yes.
Because I guess that's like the chum in the water for Jason. Is fire. He like, oh, fire. I'm going to beach up. Beaches up. He manages to get the thing around his neck. He goes down. And now this is where it gets very confusing.
Mhm.
Because he's down far enough to hold on to Tommy's legs and keep him all the way under the water.
Granted, under the same boat that he was just in,
Right.
Get out of the water at. Yes.
Right. So if you're saying Tommy is like what, 6 feet tall,
Mm-hmm.
That means there's at least 6 feet of water between Jason's head, or no, sorry, the end of Jason's hands and the top of the lake.
Yes.
Okay, so he manages to, well, no, he gets drowned and, basically floats up, face down. She grabs him, brings him to the shore, and then she goes back out there and she starts the boat motor and then uses the propeller of the boat motor to like slash his throat.
Granted, now that's just a boat motor and like a speedboat. Boat motors are not 7 feet long in the water.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, the boat motor is like maybe 2 feet below the boat. So like there's at least 4 feet of empty water space between that propeller and where his hands are. But somehow, not only is it not the tips of his hands, it goes all the way down to his neck. So that's like another, 2 feet at least? So yeah, we're talking 6 feet long outboard motor somehow that slashes his fucking neck. And since his neck was slashed when he's submerged in water, I guess that's his.
Oh, his eyes kind of still stay.
Well, whatever. So he's held underwater in permanent stasis because water is like his weakness and he can't wake up from it. Whatever.
Yes.
He goes into stasis when he's submerged in water. And then the CPR on Tommy, and Tommy's okay.
And out of the franchise.
Yeah, again, like he's in 3 movies and he survives one, and then he's just gone. Yeah. So, well, I have seen more in this series. I just haven't seen 5 or 6.
Okay.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say I probably haven't seen 7 either. Jason Takes Manhattan, I did see. I remember there was big hype about how he was going to show up in New York, which he really doesn't. But I watched that because I was like, friends of mine were hyped up for it. And I did see Jason X because that's ridiculous.
Yes.
So I heard it was like in fucking space. And I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Hell
and I'm pretty sure I saw Jason Goes to Hell too. Because is that the one where it opens up with like the fucking SWAT team? Yeah. So I saw that one. But they like stab him with this magic knife.
Yeah, did you see Freddy versus Jason?
Yes.
So you only missed 3 essentially in this.
Right. I missed the 3 that are like, I don't think I missed much, but like I got burned out. Like I'm pretty sure after 4 or maybe like halfway through 4, I got burned out. I was just like, I'm done with this franchise, and then just didn't watch anymore. And then they like got me to watch Jason Takes Manhattan, which I wasn't happy about. But but I watched that, and then I watched Jason Goes to Hell, and I watched Jason X. I watched Freddy versus Jason, and I did watch the reboot. So, yeah, just the 5, 6, and 7 at least I have not seen.
Yeah, you're not missing much other than the Tommy Jarvis plot line that goes nowhere. That he doesn't even come back ever again. Being set up as like the Laurie Strode of this franchise, this Christie of Hellraiser. No, he's gone. Never appeared again. Not even not that we really had a legacy one yet. Maybe we will. Yeah, it's like I said, and to me, the first time I watched this, wow, Tommy's drastically changed from 5 to 6.
Right.
Like personality wise.
Yeah, it's like 1 year later, and he goes from like, I finally conquered my demons, and wait, no, I'm the demon, I'm gonna murder somebody. And then he's like, a year later, he's like, I'm gonna kill Jason for good. Like, you fought Jason and it wasn't even Jason. So like, you haven't seen Jason for like 6 years.
Yep.
Like, what do you mean he's come back once a year? Like, he's been gone for 6 years. What are you talking about?
He comes back every year.
Yeah, like it's bizarre. Whatever. Yeah, so that's it. So yeah, this isn't the last one I've seen in this series. I just missed this group of them, and I don't think I'm upset about it.
Oh, don't you worry for number 7. You get really special with it. Do you want to do your highlights first?
Sure. Okay, now we're for sure supernatural.
Oh, he's a zombie.
Right. I'm just saying, like, before it was like, oh, maybe he was like feigning death somehow and he came back. Like, I guess it's entirely possible that he was not supernatural in the 4th one. This one is like definitively he's supernatural. He had like worms in his eyes, and then he got Frankenstein lightning, and now he's Now this one actually does occur on Friday the 13th.
It very much does because it's his
So
favorite day.
right, it's the first movie and the sixth movie that are
Mhm,
the ones that actually take place on the namesake of the franchise, which is funny.
mhm.
And again, we're kind of sort of back at the camp again. So whereas the last one really was not at a camp, this one is kind of, well, at least the finale is back at.
Yes.
And there's water in a lake.
Mhm.
But that's all I get.
Yeah, Zombie Jason. This is when you think the unstoppable killing machine, this is the final form of Jason Voorhees
Right.
that everyone kind of knows and loves. Um, the gore is better in this one than number 5, I think.
Then 5, yes.
Yeah, the hand through the chest was pretty good. The cop being bent in half was pretty good. Um, yeah, I'll show you. I saw it actually on Friday the 13th. And it's essentially back to the basics, as you said. This is the first time we've seen like a functional summer camp with kids there,
Right. Small children, yes.
right? Who they might have been in danger, who found a machete, who has a rat that's keeping them up all night. Oh, and Jason almost tries to murder one of them, but he's crushing someone's head. He goes, "You know what? That Tommy, he lit that fire. He called me an asshole. I guess I should stop my killing."
Right.
To go to him. That's what I have. I'll go into my low points. The music is goofy as hell in this one. It's almost to the point where, to me, like I said, Backspace, it's almost a parody of the first one because it's like so over top. It's trying to do meta stuff. It's like, oh, if I was in a horror movie, I wouldn't get out of this car. Here, do you want to take my American Express card for not killing me?
Well, yeah, when he's driving
the
the RVs, jamming out to Teenage Frankenstein.
Yep.
But yeah, there's actually like songs in this one.
Yeah.
Like the other, like 5 is kind of funny. Like when Violet's dancing, you can tell it's just a score trying to sound like a song.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is like they license legit songs.
But yeah, the score, it's like the music's fine. The score is goofy as all.
I would say neither one is good.
Yeah. And he's also has like a parody of him, like James Bond down the tunnel, right? Throwing stuff. Yeah, that's it. To me, this is a parody of the first one. It got so ahead of us. This is where it got into the goofy slashers of the mid to late 80s that you don't like the cheesiness is this epitome of this movie. Someone comes into the police station, wants to cop review, ready to shoot the person coming into the police station needing help.
And then immediately defend his actions after that.
And then he constantly says, I want to shoot you in the head and splatter your brains everywhere. Like,
right.
dude.
Yeah. Again, like not saying he was wrong at all for pulling his gun on a fucking civilian.
Yeah. Like the cop with his laser sight that he has. Where the dot goes, that's where the bullet goes. Now, it's not going to be in line. Sorry.
Okay. Well, that thing was as big as like a mag light attached to this. Because that gun he has is a pretty big fucking gun. And that thing was a giant mag light on top of that thing.
Yeah.
It's just funny that like they had better lasers than that. Like Terminator that came out in 1984 had a long laser on it, but it was a hell of a lot smaller than that fucking.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, like I said, the complete 180 turn of Tom Jarvis makes no sense. The kids were annoying as hell. And I said the lake's not very deep when it wants to be, and deep when it needs to be.
Right, yeah, it's like the magical periscoping outboard motor.
Yeah, and that weird sexual tension because we got like the same crotch shot a couple of times when he's in the car with her.
And she's like, just stay down. He's like, okay.
And we get it, but then we had to show her crotch a couple of times and let us know where his
Right.
face was. Yeah.
Like, yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
We can get that concept.
Yeah, and the cop is that guy just wants to shoot someone. He really wanted to shoot. Even his daughter, like, yeah, dude, be careful, it's my daughter. And then he still has a gun pointed at him.
Yeah, like, yeah, they need to like Barney Fife just take that guy's gun away from him.
Yeah. That's what I got. How about you?
The corpse bugs were gross. Did not like those. The RV sex scene.
Mhm.
Okay. Those were not human motions in there.
No.
I don't know what the fuck they were trying to imitate, but it was like not human interactions. It was very bizarre to watch. Um, it's kind of funny that they had like teamwork retreats, like paintball teamwork retreats, even back in the 80s, like mid 80s. I didn't realize they had.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's right. I meant the goofy music is in the paintball retreat scenes
Yeah.
specifically.
I was like, oh man, they have like, corporate retreats back then with paintball. I thought it was a newer thing. I guess
Mhm.
I was wrong. Yeah, the music is atrocious. You already talked about that. Again, like, why was he buried with a little pouch full of throwing knives?
It was his
Like,
favorite pouch.
I'm just saying, like, he didn't have it before. Why would you put it on him and then bury him with it? Like, who the fuck did that? They need to have a movie about the person who buried him with his weapons and mask.
Maybe it was the drunken gravedigger.
I guess. I was like, what the fuck was wrong with you? The kills are pretty lame in this movie. They're better than 5, but they're still pretty lame as far as like slasher kills go.
Mhm.
Um, setting the water on fire. I was sitting there. I'm like, what the fuck is that accomplishing? Like, one, I don't think it would work that way. You'd have to dump a hell of a lot more gasoline out there to get it to light up like that. And two is like, is Jason like a fire shark? Like, it's like, is this how you put chum in the water to get Jason to come to your boat? Is he light things on fire? Because like, if it's fire, I would think he would avoid it, right? Like, how does that get him to come towards it? Like, fire has not been a part of the series really at all.
No, not in the slice.
Right. So I was very confused. I'm like, why is he doing the fire thing?
Mhm.
Again, when he bubbles up, and like supposedly dead, she jumps in the water and swims over there.
Mhm.
There are several boats right next to her.
Mhm.
Like, why wouldn't you get a boat? Like, I was just like, get the boat. So yeah, the whole head propeller
Mhm.
distance thing. I was sitting there, like, I had to pause it and think about it. I'm like, he definitely moved like at least 6 feet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So like, even in that context, he's floating like less than 2 feet below the surface of the lake with his eyes open, angry. So like, if a boat comes up, he can reach up with his arms and grab the boat.
Oh, easily.
I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, how is this an ending?
It would make sense if, like, oh, in the struggle, the rock got they're on like an edge of the dip, right? Before it got steeper, and then eventually would go into the bottom. Like if it slid off, he just sunk farther. That would make more sense than the way they did it.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it was just bizarre. It was like scene to scene. It like he just bloated up like 6 whole feet. That's all I got.
Why don't you tell us number barring weapons out of 10?
Um, as ridiculous as this movie is, I think I like it a little bit more than 5.
Mm-hmm.
Simply because I mean, at least it is Jason, and at least
And
they tried a little harder in this one than they did in the other one. I'll give it a 2.5.
oh yeah, this is definitely better. Like I said, it's still a parody of itself. The cheesiness starts to really amp up. Like I said, this is almost the jump in the shark moment for this franchise because it does jump the shark, and I think this is the point of it. Uh, at least, as you said, it is on Friday the 13th. The title actually makes sense.
Right? Yeah, the first one and the sixth one are the only ones that care about the name of the franchise.
Right. But that being said, I will give this 5.25 Barnier Weapons out of 10. It's still enjoyable to watch. It's a refresher after number 5, which I think is the low point of this entire franchise.
All right. Anything else you want to add here?
No, that's all I got. Take us home.
All right. So our month-long look at the Friday the 13th franchise continues next week. We skip a couple of years for the first time in the franchise. It goes from like 1986 to like 1988.
Yeah, they
had to
took
take a whole year breather. And then we start up again with The New Blood. And the always fun Jason Takes Manhattan. Spoiler alert, he does not.
No.
He's in Manhattan for like 30 seconds.
Mhm.
And then we round it out with another misleading tagline, The Final Friday.
Also known as Jason Goes to Hell.
Yes. But we still have 2 more weeks to go. So like there's 12 movies in this franchise. So we still have 2 more weeks. So stay tuned. Don't touch that dial, as they say in the old days.
Yes.
Remember, we watch bad movies so you don't have to.
And this has been Graveyard saying, have you checked on the children?
This is Salem saying, long live the new flesh.
Good night.